back of your bags. If you're a company or simply someone with a coffee need, give us a call at 704-252-1886. And remember, if you want fresh, you must go local.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. Hi, Margie. Happy Tuesday. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Well, first off, this is a little weird. We have new headphones.
I'm loving it.
It's not squishing our hair, and we can show our fancy jewelry.
This ear is smaller than this ear. Because when I smile, this one pops out.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It is a personal. I have one foot that's bigger than the other two, but
one hand too. I think the way that they say
just
it
balances me out.
So
but I love this.
We're
so
taking
much
the
better.
new headphones for a test drive. Thank you, Bill. I greatly appreciate that. How are you on this chilly, cold Tuesday?
Was it that cold out?
Yes, it was freezing this morning. We had a freeze warning last night. I believe there might be one for this evening.
Now, when we first moved here 20-some years ago, we used to laugh. Bring your dogs in. Don't let them out without coming from Toronto when it's 30 below.
I forgot I was talking to a girl from Canada. I shouldn't be talking about cold weather to a girl from Canada.
Well, I'm not from Canada, but I grew up in Connecticut and Michigan, which is just as bad as Toronto.
I did not know you were from Connecticut.
Yes.
Did you know I live there too?
No.
Yeah. I lived in Connecticut too.
Where?
Every time we do this, we find something else that we have in common. We were, I lived a short period of time in Norwalk and then went to college. And then when we were married, Dan and I settled in Newtown, Connecticut.
Okay.
For 14 years.
Yeah.
Raised our kids there.
I grew up with Mary Martin's son.
Okay.
And we used to play in the sandbox. J.R. Ewing.
Okay.
Yes.
Very cool.
And it was funny. I was flying somewhere years later, and I thought, that's Mary Martin. I went up to her. I said, Miss Martin? She looked at me. She said, yes. I said, I used to play in your sandbox. She, oh, my gosh. Little Marguerite.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, so, yes, I'm staying warm. We've had a visit from our local fire department at Hope House today.
Oh, dear. Everybody okay?
Yeah, the gas stove,
I did that 2 months ago.
Yeah. It's a little tricky. And when you smell gas, they did the right thing, evacuated the building. And we had 12 of
Mine actually caught on fire.
Oh.
That's what a good cook I am. I was making Sharon Washam's smoking hot cornbread.
Literally.
Yeah. All of a sudden I looked over and I thought, oh, there are flames coming out of that stove. I better do something.
It's a little too much hot.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, so I haven't used it since, and I don't think I ever will.
Well, 12 of the finest firemen came to our house in Huntersville, and it was lovely, and they were sweet and really very serious. Could have been a serious situation.
It could have been, yeah. I'm glad it wasn't.
I'm grateful for the town for having the wonderful trained firemen that we have. It's really nothing to laugh about, but thank God we have them and avoided a disaster for sure.
On a happier note,
yes,
I just did the article and I put in the picture of the two of us
Yay.
Together at the Rotary Men That Cook.
Okay.
That was my first event being there. I loved it.
They took a hiatus from doing it at the venues at Langtree because there was a renovation that had done last December when the pipes burst. That facility was flooded.
Okay.
So they closed and they lost a lot of venues or folks that were, going to have weddings and fundraisers and things there. So they went to, I think it's Sweet Magnolia.
Yes.
And had it last year. It was very, very, very crowded. And this year, it just flowed better. It seemed to flow better. Very interesting, the different foods that were there.
I loved it.
It's a great concept, $20 to come in and get to sample all that delicious food and then vote for your favorite either charity or vote for your favorite chef or your favorite meal. So I'm anxious to see how we did. I know we had John O'Brien representing us with barbecue, and I think you had did you have a vegetarian dish?
We had a vegetarian one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that they have the vegetarian there as well. But I got to tell you, the desserts.
Oh, they were outstanding.
Excellent, excellent. There was a peanut butter pie there.
And
that,
one guy kept saying, you got to take a dog if you have another one of these lemon bars.
right.
I said, I think I'll put it down because I'm not looking for a dog right now.
No, they really did a great job. I
They
think
did.
the fact that the Rotary comes together and does that for the community and fundraises and always does it in such a great way is really a rewarding thing to be part of
But
this
just
community.
to
and
be
see it.
there and to see all the different nonprofits
Yeah.
working together side by side, sharing ideas, sharing what they're doing, how you can help. I mean, it was a wonderful, wonderful day.
It is a feel good day. It's always done in March on a beautiful spring day. People usually come after church and spend the afternoon there. Now, I didn't know how it was going to come out on St. Patrick's Day because there was a little competition there with
There
little
was
corned beef.
big competition.
Yeah, but it
And
turned
they
out
did break
lovely.
it into, you could come from 11 to 12:30 or 12:30 to 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And sad to say, my husband did not win the Yeti cooler this
and
year.
neither did I.
He was trying for year 2 to win it. We still have some of the variety of things we have a lot of them actually that were left over from last year, but it was kind of an exciting thing to win.
It was. And my friend that I went with, she wanted the barbecue for her son.
Mm-hmm.
But she has not called saying she was a winner.
No, they have to, and I think with that they'll call you and then you have to be there like within 30 minutes to pick it up. So I told you last year when we won, we were shopping at Harris Teeter. I had one cart for my 86-year-old mother and my husband had ours, and he met me around the corner. He said, we gotta go. I said, what's happening? I've won the cooler and I have 30 minutes to pick it up. Drop the groceries. Let's go. I said, right here, right now.
Yeah.
So we did. We abandoned our carts.
Well,
and
they
we
would have
came
put
back.
it in the refrigerator.
We came back for them, absolutely, because we had to do that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun winning it. He got a big kick out of that.
Wow. It was a good turnout.
What's on your agenda for this week? Anything exciting?
Yes. I am doing a house again, which I thought I was done doing.
Oh no, young lady, you have 2 more houses to help decorate.
Oh, I will do that.
Okay.
That's easy.
Good.
I did 2 of their houses here. Then they moved to Florida. And now, excuse me, I've got a tickle. Now they're moving back.
Oh goodness.
So carpet went in today, painting tomorrow. And then Saturday, I'm going to be there all day moving them in.
Oh, I didn't know you moved people in too.
I didn't either.
I'll be paying attention. Well, we were last night out at the new builds. We're building 2 new homes. One is the Journey House, and the other is the Courage House.
And I love the colors we picked for those.
They stuck. Courage is just a really unique home because it's dedicated to a female veteran. And we had one of the former Hope House residents with me last night when we viewed it, and she is a veteran. And so she saw it, and she's just started to cry and
Aw.
said, when you think about what this house is going to do for someone, it's just spectacular to know that I'm standing in the midst of sort of a miracle of
It
something
is.
really
It
amazing.
is.
So excited to have that done. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes. I don't have enough on my plate. Now I'm decorating homes and doing that kind of stuff. But I know,
will help you there.
Thank you, my friend, because I know that you will definitely do that. So when we come back,
It took us 10 minutes to pick out the colors for those houses.
this one and this one, done. So all good. So when we come back, we're going to be talking with Susan Tillis. I am excited to meet her,
Yeah.
to learn all about her foundation, to know the good things she's doing in our community. And I know our listeners are going to be excited too.
They
so
will
when
be.
we get back, we'll be talking with Susan Tillis.
More informative discussion about people and groups doing good in our community coming up. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC.
We'll stay and dry for several days, a little bit cooler for our Tuesday. We'll see plenty of sunshine today. High temperatures only into the upper 50s to near 60. Another cold night on the way as we dip it back down into the mid-30s. A couple of spots around the farms may even see the freezing mark by early tomorrow morning, but we do warm up fast in the afternoon. We're already back up close to 70 for our Wednesday afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Summer camps are just around the corner. Check out some of the camps happening at Kane Center for the Arts. Pottery for teens, paint, Broadway through the ages, and many more. Kane Center for the Arts is offering week-long camps starting June 10th through August 9th. For more info and to register for any of the summer camps, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Rocky Lynn is playing in Statesville this weekend. Come out to Twisted Oak in downtown Statesville this Saturday night. Show starts at 7:30, but doors open at 6:15. Come out this Saturday night to Twisted Oak in downtown Statesville. Have some great dinner and enjoy a wonderful show. Rocky Lynn, Saturday night, Twisted Oak, downtown Statesville. Saturday, March 30th, come enjoy Burkdale's first ever Easter egg hunt. Collect 10 eggs and then trade them in for special treats. The event is open to the public. No registration is required. There will be 2 hunts, so all our little friends can have some fun. Egg hunt for ages 3 and under starts at 9 a.m. For ages 3 to 7, the hunt will start at 10 a.m. Saturday, March 30th, Burkdale's first ever Easter egg hunt. Merle Fest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Sam Bush, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. We are back with a very long-time friend of mine, along with her husband, Susan Tillis and Tom Tillis. And I've known you 25 years, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I can remember going on that boat for Tom's birthday.
50th
Okay.
celebration. Yeah, family and friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Tom, I met him in the grocery store last year, and I said, I need a recipe from you.
Oh, yeah, he did tortellini soup.
Yeah, he did. He said, okay, I'll go get all the stuff. And
he told me.
yeah, that was absolutely wonderful. Before we get into it, if you would like to call in, we'd love to hear from you at 844-STUDIO-4. Please do not hesitate if you have a question for either Sue, Debbie, or me. I'm just so proud of what you're doing now.
Thank you.
How did you get there from Boston to real estate?
So I'm still in real estate.
Okay.
And then through some connections, obviously, with my husband, back in 2015, I was able to visit with some of our wounded veterans at Walter Reed Hospital.
That would do it.
And it was Valentine's Day. And we were serving and preparing a meal for some of our most critically wounded and their families. So we probably had 4 Senate spouses. I was one, so 4 out of 100. A little sad, honestly, that more didn't join us.
Yeah.
But we were in the back kitchen with a very famous chef from Georgetown who was laying everything out, and we were preparing the meal. And then when we were finished, we went out and had fellowship with all these wounded veterans and their families. And I tell you, Margie, some of the families had been there for 5 years.
Oh.
They some are critically wounded. Some are there with their children. And it was a blessing for me, honestly, to be able to do that. But that's the inspiration behind what ended up starting a foundation here in North Carolina. So I had one particular wife who was with her husband. He was really catastrophically injured. He was in a wheelchair.
Wow.
He could speak, but you would have a really hard time hearing him. And she, with tears in her eyes, and it always makes me choke up when I remember this story, she grabbed my hands and said, I said, "What can I do for you?" And she said, "Please don't forget us."
Oh, God.
So told her I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I made a promise to her and to all the veterans there that day that I was going to make it my mission to make sure that North Carolinians remembered the sacrifices of our men and women overseas, whether it's currently happening or
That's
it's
right.
happened in the past.
I think that is beautiful.
That's so commendable.
What a beautiful mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how did you do that?
Well, that's the fun part of the story. So about 4 or 6 weeks later, I was traveling to Fort Bragg, which is now Fort Liberty, in Fayetteville, and it was a trip for Tom, but I asked if I could go, and he was going to be there 2.5 days. I wanted to be there 2.5 days, but what my ask of the folks that were in charge was, please give me my own things to look at, my own things to do. Let Tom do his thing. I want to do my own. And so they scheduled all kinds of tours for me, meeting with service members' families. And I found a program called Baby Bundles.
Ooh.
Yes. And it's for junior enlisted. And these folks don't make a lot of money. They're oftentimes 18, 19, 20 years old. They don't have family around, and they don't have the basic needs to bring that baby home. And then I learned that the program sometimes didn't happen because the donations dried up. So that was the start of it. And I came home that night and I told my husband, I'm going to do a shower for these families. And do you know what Tom said? Make sure you're successful. So that's how it started. So we had a shower. I planned it 6 weeks later. I decided not to do it at Fort Bragg. I decided to do it right here in my hometown of Cornelius. And the reason I did that was because everybody in Fayetteville that lives near the base knows about our military families. I wanted to make sure that our story was heard all over the state of North Carolina. And so we still have people that come from eastern North Carolina, western North Carolina. They converge for our shower every year.
And I want to be part of that shower.
I do too.
I would love
It's
for you both to
incredible.
come.
Yeah, and get LK and Connect, to help you out too, get the word out.
It is a working shower. Wear sneakers, jeans.
I will work as hard as I can.
And we collect items. So our mission is to make sure that when those babies are born at Womack, that they leave that hospital with a bundle. And that bundle can have diapers, it can have wipes, it can have onesies, hats,
Pacifiers.
Sometimes it's
Blankets.
books. Oh my gosh.
We go through a ton of blankets at Little Smiles.
Blankets. We have a group of knitters in eastern North Carolina that handmade blankets and hats and sweaters. We have beautiful quilts that people will make for us and donate and write little notes to our families.
Oh, what a beautiful mission.
Are
I
these
love
new
it.
items, Susan, that
They
you
are
look for?
new.
Okay, so all
Yeah.
new items.
Yeah, so the hospital, obviously, because the way that it works is we work with an armed services YMCA, which is right on base, and they can get our packages and deliver it directly to the hospital. So they get them in the hospital, so it has to be new.
What about are they put in baskets or they're containers? Do you need those donated as well?
Sometimes we do. So sometimes we'll have big bags that, an organization will donate. Of course, during COVID, things shut down. But we're geared back up and
Good.
babies are still being born.
Yes,
That's
they
what
are.
everybody says. Well, when do you need them? I need them all year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you see a deployment and a deployment is coming home, we always see an uptick in our little babies about 9 months later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bless.
Oh, you know, they do so much for us. That's the least we can do for them.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't have family. And remember, they're young. They're young. We had one note, we'll get thank you notes from some of our new moms. And one mom wrote us that the baby, they had one outfit that they were going to bring the baby home on. And the baby had an accident. And they were so thankful for our.
They had a change of clothes, which they didn't have.
They didn't have.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Things that we take for granted.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
I have 2 grandsons that are in the service.
Thank you.
And I just, one just got married, and his wife said to me, I'm going to make you a great grandma soon. And I said, oh, yay.
Yay. It's
but, you know,
amazing.
they've got a lot of support around them.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who don't is who you're really caring for.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many of those people.
There are. So when we first started, we were probably serving about 2,000 babies a year at Fort Bragg. We've expanded to some of our other bases in North Carolina a little bit. It's sometimes challenging to get through the bureaucracy to get our things there. But the more word of mouth that we have and the more that we're able to share our story, then we are able to donate to more people. And that's the goal, you know, to reach those that need it the most.
That's right. Well, I know when we Little Smile started, I can remember being so proud to say we served over 500 families this year. Now it's between 100 and 500 a month.
Yeah.
So there is a need in this community.
Well, one thing is for sure, this is a very generous community. I remember one time at Hope House, we put out a need for shoes, and thousands of pairs of shoes showed up. So you have to be careful what you pray for and what you ask for, because the generosity is overflowing in our community for sure.
It is.
And I feel like, too, you know, talking to someone like Margie and Debbie, big mouths, you're going to get some folks that are going to want to donate, because, you know, lots of times we get folks that come to Hope House and they're saying, what can we do? There might not be a particular need, but if we know someone that does, we can say, hey, Little Smiles needs you, or the Susan M. Tillis Foundation needs you. So let's get it out there on all our social media and everywhere that we can to just reach out to folks and say, there's a need.
That's right. When is your next shower?
So we are scheduled for May 2nd at Cornelius Town Hall. The shower begins at 6 o'clock.
A.M.?
P.m.
Okay.
Yes, 6 a.m. And when I say it's a working shower, we are loading everything into the Cornelius Town Hall. We start organizing, separating our socks, our hats by size, by gender, and then we're quickly cleaning up and loading a large U-Haul that will be taken to our office, where we will inventory it and then get it ready to be sent to Fort Liberty.
When we come back, I want to talk about how volunteers can help you.
Yes, ma'am.
Put all that together for you.
That'd be great.
That would be wonderful.
Because that's something that teenagers could do.
We have teenagers, we have elementary school, we have men, women, you name it. They're all coming, they're all sitting down, they take their scissors, cut their tags off.
Stay with us. Don't go away, because we want to learn more on how we can help.
Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
We'll stay and dry for several days, a little bit cooler for our Tuesday. We'll see plenty of sunshine today. High temperatures only into the upper 50s to near 60. Another cold night on the way as we dip it back down into the mid-30s. A couple of spots around the farms may even see the freezing mark by early tomorrow morning, but we do warm up fast in the afternoon. We're already back up close to 70 for our Wednesday afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey. You need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Hi, this is Joshua Dobie. Join me Thursdays at 4 p.m. for Dollars and Cents, a show that focuses on your personal financial journey and the markets around us. That's Dollars and Cents, Thursday afternoons at 4, here on WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The SAT tutoring business is booming again. With more colleges requiring students to take those tests, parents of high schoolers are now scrambling to book tutors. Kaplan, perhaps the best-known prep service, has seen a double-digit rise in enrollment this year, and some private tutors are getting $500 an hour. On Wall Street, all the major averages are higher now. That's ahead of tomorrow's decision from the Federal Reserve on interest rates. No change is expected. That's got the Dow up about 0.2%. The Nasdaq and the S&P each up nearly 0.5%. New home construction rebounding sharply in February, up nearly 11% from January, when snowstorms and freezing temps in much of the country stalled a lot of housing starts. And the cafeterias at IKEA stores, best known for their Swedish meatballs and lingonberry jam, now selling a plant-based alternative hot dog called the Plant Dog. The cost just 70 cents. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Call 844-STUDIO-4 now to join the community-centered discussion with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back, listeners. You are listening to Community Centered, and I'm your host, Debbie O'Hanley, with my friend Margi Kyle, and we are talking with Susan Tillis about the Susan M. Tillis Foundation. If you didn't catch it in the first segment, we're going to tell you that they are going to be planning a baby shower May 2nd at the Cornelius Town Hall, where you can use new baby items, bring them in to donate, that are going to be delivered to our servicemen and women that are at currently stationed at Fort Bragg, known as Fort Liberty. Susan, tell us about some of the impact that your foundation has made, or some of the stories of some families.
So one of my favorite stories was probably 2016, and we literally had a service member knocking on the door like, I need help. I'm 20 years old. My wife is 19, and we're expecting triplets.
Goodness.
And so these are junior enlisted again, so their average salary probably at that time was $22,000 a year. And then all of a sudden they're going to have triplets. So he had a huge need.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
The foundation stepped in. We got them 3 car seats. We got them a triple stroller. We got them stacks of diapers, wipes. Each child had a baby bundle, and I still stay in touch with that family. The kids are I think still near the Fayetteville area, and the kids are 7.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can't imagine triplets.
At 19.
and at 19.
At 19.
But he was persistent, and he knew he needed help, and thankfully the organization at Fort Bragg at the time, realized the need and came to us and said, "Can you help?" And so we got to meet the triplets and stay in touch with them.
Fun.
How sweet is that? Now,
Yeah.
there is an organization locally there that helps you facilitate all of this.
We do. We partner with the Armed Services YMCA, which is right on base. So the way our bundles are put together, we send them, after we inventory all our items, we send them a U-Haul truck full of stuff, and they unload it, and then they will put the bundles together. And then as the babies are born, which is every day,
Yeah.
they get a bundle delivered to the mom's hospital room.
Nice.
What a
very
blessing.
nice.
What a blessing. Yeah.
Sounds like a Little Smiles, like they have a storage full of all those goodies
Yeah.
just waiting for
Yeah.
a happy child to deliver
That's
it
right.
to.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Tell me of like, where did it come from? I know you saw the need, you went and you did this outreach thing and you saw the need, but what did it take to like orchestrate all of it, to pull it all together, to say, I've got this great idea? And of course, Tom said, you don't like make it big, like don't fail, like make this really good.
Yeah.
But what does that look like? Do you go to call 5 of your best friends and say, hey, I need some baby items? Or
So we did. I, had an expansive network in the state, and just, reached out to people, and we created ambassadors in different portions of the state, so they would do kind of the speaking for me. When I first started, I would go to a lot of speaking events all across the state and just tell my story.
Yeah.
And so we are grassroots. We're all volunteer. There's no paid staff.
That's what we are, yeah.
We're a 501c3, so everything is tax deductible. We, of course, take money, but we take those items that they need. We have an Amazon wish list, a registry.
Yeah.
We have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram page. We have a website. You can go on our website, learn more about the foundation, and also go to the Facebook page. And we've been posting the Amazon link, and everything gets delivered to our office here in Cornelius.
Yeah. And your office is right below us.
It is.
in the same building.
I know. I was shocked to see that.
I know.
I've just got to step in my office. I said, "You work here?"
Yeah. Yeah. So it's when you try to put something like that together, you rely on a lot of different people, and thankfully the community, which is such a big part of this area of giving back, they all rallied.
Yeah.
And so the first year, I think our donations totaled $65,000 on
what
average.
Are you up to now?
We are up to almost $850,000 in donations to the foundation.
Wonderful.
So we are really hoping that we get to $1 million this year, which blows me away. But it's so impactful to me. I know that young mother at Walter Reed has no idea that I've kept my promise to her.
Yes.
But I have kept my promise to make sure that everybody in North Carolina doesn't forget about our men and women in uniform.
Yes.
I think when you make the $1 million, you need to find her.
Oh my gosh.
You need to find her, and you need to tell her because we say this all the time, people's stories matter.
Yeah.
The narratives matter, and without telling them, no one knows, right?
Yeah.
And she told you, and it probably took a lot of courage and bravery for her to tell you that story, and look what you did.
And I
want
to take a picture of the both of you, blow it up and give it to your husband.
Yes.
And just underneath it say, I did.
Did it. Yeah.
I did.
I did.
Yeah.
It was a success. It will be a success. That's incredible. I know people in this community love babies. I mean, we get a lot of baby,
Well, who
used
doesn't?
baby stuff at Hope House
Yeah.
donated. And, when we have a call from a family in need that has a baby, people are like, oh, baby.
I know.
So I think that, I think you're going to hit $1 million.
Oh, I am. I just can't even imagine, but I do think so too. I think, the need, of course, the world is a little bit in turmoil, and our men and women are still serving
we
overseas.
still have to protect our future, which are our
Yes.
children.
Yeah, and so they're still overseas, and our babies are going to be born here. And
That's right.
North Carolina is home to some of the biggest military
Yeah.
bases
Yes. Yeah.
and veteran community.
Absolutely. Tell us again what goes in those bundles. What can people donate?
So baby blankets, hats, onesies,
Pacifiers are a big one.
pacifiers, any of the things, diapers, wipes. Sometimes we'll get, somebody will buy the shampoo, and we'll have miscellaneous items.
Mhm.
We have a lot of organizations that donate handmade items. So we get knitted blankets
Yeah.
and hats, and we have had some beautiful quilts donated.
And we one year got a bunch of crocheted stuffed animals,
Oh, yeah.
which were adorable.
We got some of those last year. So there is some folks with some of the local churches that
Yeah.
will get together, and they will knit together and then
Yes.
bring them over to us. It's hard to not walk out of that night and not feel inspired after you do
The
what we
impact
do.
that you made.
Yes.
Absolutely. I sometimes I get, so overwhelmed when someone comes to Hope House and donates something that it just, we didn't ask for it and they just show up. And I think of, the serendipitous of that, of where someone was thinking of us and decided to. Yesterday I got an Amazon box that had 17 deodorants in it and 8 things of paper towels. And I thought, I'm not sure what went through your mind, but thank you, because we needed those things. And, that's how a non-for-profit survives,
That's
on those
right.
kind of things that we graciously gift our recipients to. And
Yeah.
so I don't think people don't understand how impactful that is when we can do that. So if you're listening, listeners, we need some baby items. And you know what? I even think that probably Justin or Bill would be a great drop-off place here if someone
would
came by
be
the studio.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
could run it downstairs to you too. But if you're
How
listening,
did they get a hold of you?
yeah.
So the website is susantillis.org, and there's an email information. There's a phone number. The office address is on there.
Okay.
And then the Amazon link and the invite to the shower should be live in the next couple of days.
Okay.
But you can also find it on Facebook and Instagram.
If someone needed to volunteer or wanted to volunteer, do you
We
need
volunteers,
Okay.
yes. So coming to the shower, we typically have anywhere from 80 to 120 people come to the shower.
Wow.
And when you get there, please be casual, because it could be a hot night. And there's a lot of people, a lot of activity. But the way that our shower works is we are actually taking the items that we have been gifted, and we have to take all the tags off. And if you've ever cut a bag of hats, there's about 20 tags on it. And you'll see men, women all sitting around the tables just cutting and sorting, and we get it all done in an
So
hour
bring
and
your
a half.
scissors, right?
We
And
have some
volunteer.
scissors, and there'll be an RSVP link. There's an event also where you can RSVP online on Facebook.
Good.
I think that's amazing. What a great, great outreach in our community. I'm excited for you because I know you're going to hit 1 million.
I am too.
I know.
Yeah, thank you.
We are going to take a quick little break, and we will be back with Susan Tillis. I just love what you're doing.
Thank you.
More informative discussion about people and groups doing good in our community coming up. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC.
We'll stay and dry for several days, a little bit cooler for our Tuesday. We'll see plenty of sunshine today. High temperatures only into the upper 50s to near 60. Another cold night on the way as we dip it back down into the mid-30s. A couple of spots around the farms may even see the freezing mark by early tomorrow morning, but we do warm up fast in the afternoon. We're already back up close to 70 for our Wednesday afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Summer camps are just around the corner. Check out some of the camps happening at Kane Center for the Arts. Pottery for teens, paint, Broadway through the ages, and many more. Kane Center for the Arts is offering week-long camps starting June 10th through August 9th. For more info and to register for any of the summer camps, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Rocky Lynn is playing in Statesville this weekend. Come out to Twisted Oak in downtown Statesville this Saturday night. Show starts at 7:30, but doors open at 6:15. Come out this Saturday night to Twisted Oak in downtown Statesville. Have some great dinner and enjoy a wonderful show. Rocky Lynn, Saturday night, Twisted Oak, downtown Statesville. Saturday, March 30th, come enjoy Burkdale's first ever Easter egg hunt. Collect 10 eggs and then trade them in for special treats. The event is open to the public. No registration is required. There will be 2 hunts, so all our little friends can have some fun. Egg hunt for ages 3 and under starts at 9 a.m. For ages 3 to 7, the hunt will start at 10 a.m. Saturday, March 30th, Burkdale's first ever Easter egg hunt. Merle Fest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Sam Bush, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Community Centered continues now. Here are your hosts, Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back, listeners. If you have a phone call, you can call us in at 844-STUDIO-4. We'd love to take your call. We are talking to Susan Tillis, the wife of Senator Thom Tillis. And I'm curious, we were talking at the break, what is it like to be a celebrity wife of Senator Thom Tillis?
So I hate to think that it's a celebrity, but I do think that it has, and Margie knows this, that it's afforded me some opportunities. And for me, it was that very first event that I went to at Walter Reed that launched my foundation. And so it's, you know, taking advantage of some of those life events that I wouldn't necessarily have seen if he weren't a U.S. Senator, and making sure that I'm making a difference in our community, in our state, and in the United States.
Yes. Well, that makes you famous in my book.
Thank you.
And the impact that you're making, I think, and making a difference. You're a difference maker. And, you know, kudos, right? That you got to use
you both
that
are supporting each other in
Yeah.
your ventures, and I think that's what makes you two so unique.
I think, you know, one thing that I'll touch on at the Walter Reed event, I touched on it briefly, but it was astonishing to me that out of 100 Senate spouses that were invited to fellowship with some of our most critically wounded veterans, and only 4 showed up, and one of those was me.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that when you're given that chance, you take it and you make the most of it, and make sure that you're giving back. And so hopefully I've done that.
Well, you have done it
Mm-hmm.
and are still doing it.
Yeah.
And I think there's something very humbling about you too, Susan, that, I mean, this is the first time I'm meeting you, and I feel like, you know, when we're passionate about something that we care deeply about, you can tell when someone really truly lives their story and their impact that they're making. And you're not doing this for the notoriety or the spotlight or anything. You're doing it for something that's very heartfelt. And I think that there's such a sincerity and humility in that is commendable. So thank you for the impact that you make, because I know there's a lot of hearts that you're touching, little ones and big ones as well. And it is disturbing to think that there were only 4 Senate wives that wanted to come there to support that. That's hard to digest and swallow, especially in today's world. But, thank goodness you were there.
Yep.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this? When did you start this foundation?
So the first event was without the foundation. I launched the foundation in 2016. So 2015 was when I said I'm going to do a shower, and 6 weeks later I did, and donated everything to the YMCA. And I quickly realized that I needed to have some structure around our donations so that we were being compliant and making sure that the Y was as well.
Well, I know when I started Little Smiles and getting a 501c3 in the Carolinas is tough.
Not
so
easy.
I called my friend Tom Tillis.
Oh, you did?
I did. And I told him what I was starting. Within 2 weeks, we had our 501c3.
Wow.
Nice.
So you don't mess around with Tom. He does what he says he's going to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And so do you.
Thank you. Yeah. We've been married 36 years. We'll be 37 in June. And, we live during the week, and we're apart because he's traveling to D.C. And I'm here still working. But
taking care of grandkids.
I do.
Where did you meet?
So we met in Boston. We were just reliving the story on our first day. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right. So I was 25, and he's 3 years older than me, so he's 28. And we were up in Boston, and we were working at the same company. And our very first date, do you want to know what Tom Tillis asked me?
Yeah.
Or told me?
What?
He said 2 things. He said, you need to understand that I intend to have a son named Thomas Ryan Tillis, and one day I hope to be in public service. And so here we are, 36 years later, we have both. And I laugh because
he had a dream.
He had a dream, yeah.
Aw, that's incredible.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't run out the door when somebody says that on your first date, right?
What's a girl and a boy from Boston doing in North Carolina?
So he is actually from the South. Tom is from Tennessee. Okay. He grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. His dad traveled all across the Southeast. He was up in Boston on for a job, and we met there. And then he's a Southerner. He wanted to be back South. And so he was, before he got into politics, he was a partner with PricewaterhouseCoopers, and that relocated us from Virginia to North Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it did.
1998.
We're glad all those circumstances were just the right thing to bring you here, for sure. What is one kind of legacy thing you could leave us with before we end the show on how you feel this community responds to you? What kind of hopeful thing can you say about this community?
I think, every day I wake up and am grateful.
Yeah.
And I feel so much gratitude for the people that have stood beside me, whether I talk to them every day or I haven't seen them in years. People show up, they help, and that's what this community is all about.
It is.
And so I'm just filled with gratitude.
When Margie and I first came together with this radio station, we knew we wanted to call it community centered, and we said we were going to put hope back in the headlines and do it with a smile. I don't think there is a day or a time when we've done this where we haven't left this station feeling hopeful and full of smiles, knowing the good people that are here.
Right.
And the folks that we're surrounded ourselves with in this community. There is a whole lot of hope, despite what the news might tell you. stop watching the news and just get out there and meet your people. And, if you want to get involved and there's something that you feel compassionate about, reach out. Margie
Yes.
can point you in a direction. I can point you in the direction. Susan would be willing to help you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that year round you're collecting baby items, right?
We do.
Well,
So
babies are born all year.
Yeah.
every day at Fort Liberty, there are babies born. So we typically send our big shipment from the shower, in May. But if the need arises and they, have a sudden big, deployment that comes home and they need more things, we'll send more.
So year round. So all of these high school groups that are looking for something to collect, or civic
Or to do.
organizations that
To
need
do.
something, you can be out there collecting new baby items and donating to the Susan Tillis Foundation for our newborn babies that are being born right here in North Carolina.
I know.
That's right.
Or putting the bags together. That's huge.
Coming to the shower, just show up. We will start organizing the town hall at 4:30.
I hope you send me that information soon because
I will.
I have a lot of kids that are looking for something to do.
We will
and this
have
would
all
be
of them.
beautiful.
Yeah, I was just thinking we have a lot of organizations that reach out to us too. And this is a
Yes,
great way to say,
yeah.
hey, listen, you can get out there and in advance of this baby shower, be collecting these items and you
That's
can
right.
bring them that day. So we could use everybody's manpower, woman power, child power to pull this off for us so that they can hit their million mark. Let's make it $1 million year.
Let's make
in
it.
2024.
I'd be so grateful.
I think that would be incredible that we could get that going.
Well, it starts from the parents too. If they're out there in the community doing good, then their kids usually are the ones that follow in that footstep.
And I'm also thinking of the ladies at Hope House. They've been given a lot and benefit from the generosity.
Way to give back.
What a great way for them to get involved and to know they know how expensive baby items can be.
Yeah.
And in fact, Little Smiles donated some diapers to us here recently. I'm hoping that mom with a baby can understand and would show some generosity too. So one of the things we want to teach when they're there.
That's right.
So I think this would be a great opportunity
I
for
do
them
too.
to do that.
I think
So
it would be wonderful.
I am excited about that.
Yeah.
What else, Margie?
Well, it just shows what we're all about in this community, which is giving, not wanting anything in return, but to feel good and that you're doing good to make this the number one place to live.
Mm-hmm. I think it is.
It is.
I know a lot of folks that I know that come to visit, some of them from the Boston area, want to come back and want to settle down here. So we send them back. We're happy with what we have for sure. But
yeah,
I just want to thank you, Susan, for what you do and the impact that you've made. And I just think about that woman at Walter Reed, and you were an answer to prayer. And I wonder if she thinks about that moment ever. And I
bet she does.
I'm the kind of person that loves a happy ending, so I'd love for somebody to reach out. Maybe she's listening, Margie.
Of course.
And maybe
we'll send her the link.
Yeah, and she would.
I will send you the link. You send it to anybody else.
To reach out and know that what a devastating time in her life, but something really good came out of it.
Well,
when
it's a
she met you.
beautiful time, but it's also very scary if you have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. And when you think of your spouse fought for this country, and you don't even have a blanket for your baby. That, to me, is sad.
Well, I'm thinking also some of them might not even have a spouse present when they
they don't
deliver.
They
So
don't.
To have a gift of something,
That's right.
that came
Never
from
even
your
thought about that.
community
Yes.
is really a lovely way to say that.
And we've had thank you notes from some of our moms that have said this is the only gift that we've gotten.
Oh, that's heartwarming.
Okay, now you're really talking on the heartstrings because
It's a true story.
I know where I'm going shopping after this.
Yeah, you can do it again online at Amazon.
Well,
go
Susan's
into
going to
our-
come to my storage unit and do some selective
Thank you,
shoplifting.
thank
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Susan, for
Thank
what
you
you
for
do in our
having me.
community. Thank you for our, helping our soldiers' wives and families out at Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty now. And we're just glad that you showed up to make hope happen and put a
yeah.
smile on our face.
Thank you so much, Margie. I
On
appreciate
everybody's
it.
face.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Serving you better than ever before. 1059 100.7 WSIC.